This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the importance of taking a moment to stop and breathe will be in the forefront of Invercargill visitors' minds. A new festival celebrating Pacific culture will be held for the first time next year in Dunedin. And Lee Stream school pupils teamed up against the teachers in the annual water fight on the last day of school yesterday. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The importance of taking a moment to stop and breathe will be in the forefront of Invercargill visitors' minds, thanks to an interactive Te Ao Māori mural launched in the Central Business District.
Practicing breathing and mindfulness has inspired a group of southern youngsters to create a mural in Invercargill. Waverley Park School's kaiako or teacher is proud of their work, along with the people who are behind the event.
We love working with you. You do bring super energy to our community, and we hope to do more, have a future.
The interactive display on the city's redevelopment panels was initiated by Sport Southland's Healthy Families team, along with the help of community members, Invercargill youngsters and their teachers. Healthy Families lead innovator Stella O'Connor says the collaboration is aimed at helping people calm their mind and in turn improve their mental well-being.
When the opportunity first came up to contribute to the art trail in the city, we reached out to our Hipukarere group of teachers to see if they'd like to do a mural. And this is a group from our region that sort of meet to strengthen and support incorporating physical activity with the Te Ao Māori lens.
The display features a series of images of Southland children demonstrating Te Ao Māori breathing techniques called Hikatea Te Ha, a concept originally developed by education lecturer Rawiri Hindle. Fireburden says the recent launch event was excellent for the children.
To be here, be part of either this hui and then to go and sing our waiata in front of their beautiful murals. So, no reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
The pupils from Waverley Park School say it was really fun learning about the breathing techniques and how they related to Māori atua. In Invercargill, The South Today.
A woman has been flown to hospital after a ute rolled near Clinton in South Otago. Police say they were called at just after 7:30 this morning to reports of a vehicle having rolled at an intersection on Hillfoot Road. The 18-year-old driver was the only person in the silver Hilux, and no other vehicles were involved. The woman's older sister went to the scene and told the ODT the driver had injured her hand and was pretty shaky, but otherwise okay. She was flown to hospital by helicopter as a precaution. A new festival celebrating Pacific culture will be held for the first time next year in Dunedin. The Moana Nui Festival is set to showcase Pacific cultures and hopes to become a 2-yearly event.
Organised by the Pacific Trust Otago, the Moana Nui Festival hopes to frame Dunedin as the Pacific city it is. Event coordinator Stacey Kokawa says similar events have been held in the past, but the board has discussed a new event which members hope will bring the community together.
It'll be an opportunity for Pacific peoples to come and celebrate their cultures, talents, crafts, but also an opportunity for people from the wider Dunedin community to come and share in our culture.
Kokawa says alongside a main stage for traditional and contemporary cultural performances, they plan to invite groups from different Pacific communities in Dunedin to set up villages as part of the event.
Most importantly, it's been a rough year in 2020, so we're hoping that this can be an opportunity for us to recover from COVID and the impacts of COVID and come together and just have a good time.
Organisers say this is all the more important this year as people are missing their homelands, separated by a large ocean or Moana Nui. The festival is due to be held at Forsyth Bar Stadium on February 13th with a koha entry. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Mei taki.
Undeterred by capping ceremony postponements, hundreds of graduates have surged on the University of Otago campus, celebrating in sunshine as a bagpiper played. At times, graduates formed lengthy queues as they entered the St David Lecture Theatre complex, uplifting their academic certificates, and had photos taken with academic staff. The university says several thousand people, including families, had been through by mid-afternoon. Vice-Chancellor Harleen Hayne says university staff made an extra effort to make yesterday as special as possible. Otago University Students Association President Jack Manning says he feels immense pride in the resilience shown by students. Lee Stream school pupils teamed up in their annual water fight on the last day of school against the school's 3 teachers yesterday, and no mercy was shown by either side. However, this year's match was a little more contained as neither pupils nor staff were allowed to venture out of the pool room.
3 teachers against 32 students may seem unfair, but the teachers of Lee Stream School thought the annual Water Fun Day could have gone either way. Principal Rachel Moores says the teachers were particularly looking forward to dousing their Year 8 pupils.
It's the annual water fight, our water fun, should I say. It's been happening every year and the kids really look forward to it. The teachers do as well, so we're all prepared, ready to go.
Year 8 pupil Will Nicol is itching to get started and take aim at his teacher of choice, alerting Mrs Langley to the clear and present danger she's in.
Because we get to have fun and it's my last year.
Not only the youngsters, but the teachers are looking forward to some well-mannered frivolity after seeing the pupils grow up from 5 years old.
Yeah, they seem to really enjoy things that everybody can take part in, because of course we're a full primary with 32 students, and so everybody can take part in this and have a bit of fun.
Pupils and staff were armed and dangerous for the all-in fracas, with some choosing different safety gear to others. While 2 of the teachers wore swimming togs, she thinks she'll be well protected poolside in a raincoat.
I am prepared, I'm sure at some stage I will be the target for probably just about every student, but no, it's a lot of fun and we're really looking forward to it.
Moores says it would be fair to say this year's battle was a draw, although she wouldn't quite say it was a game of 2 halves. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, a group of Invercargill Jazz Time dancers shine with impressive scores in an international examination, and we have the latest edition of Global Insight with Professor Robert Patman, so see you after the break.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here till January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
self-contained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
For over 100 years, Presbyterian Support has been helping people in your region through all conditions, ages and stages of life. Our Enliven and Family Work services are always there when you need them. People in your community are facing unprecedented challenges and they need your help. By making a donation to your local Presbyterian Support in South Canterbury, Otago or Southland, you'll be helping us to help people where you live. Together we can make a difference. We are people helping people.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
You sure you can handle? Okay. We can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
Welcome back. A group of jazz time dancers from Invercargill received the highest marks in an international examination. Despite being up against dancers from Hong Kong to Qatar, the world stage was no sweat for the Southland group. Studio owner Louise Horrow said the fantastic results were a combined effort from teachers and students who went the extra mile. Horrow says over the COVID-19 lockdown, the seniors continued to practice remotely and did all the work themselves. Her daughter Talia recorded routines from the studio, while others practiced from the comfort of their homes. In light of the 2020 climate, the decision was made to call their end-of-year show We Made It. In today's Global Insight, Professor Robert Patman says COVID-19 has fundamentally changed the world, potentially for the better. The University of Otago International Affairs Specialist says COVID-19 is creating new routines, new distributions of power and new awareness of global interdependence.
It's a week until Christmas, and what a year it has been. Welcome, Robert.
Morning, Bruce.
At the start of the year, you said that New Zealand could emerge as a minor global power. Have we seen any sign of that?
I think we're in international transition at the moment, and I think New Zealand is in the process of recalibrating its foreign policy. We've just got a new foreign minister, Nanaia Mahuta, and she is the first woman to hold that position. So I think New Zealand is, in a sense, rebranding itself on the international stage. And I do think the combination of the appointment of Nanaia Mahuta, also Jacinda Ardern's growing confidence on the international stage, and the fact that she is one of the most liked politicians in the world, I think that combination will see New Zealand playing a more prominent, active role on the international stage. Yes, I do think we will become more of a minor power in 2021. I don't think we're there yet, but I do think we may be putting our efforts into international initiatives. And with the advent of the Biden administration, the President-elect Joe Biden, I think we will be looking to work closely with that administration where we can, and I think the scope for cooperation is likely to be much increased after the Trump years.
We've had these big events this year, but do they just come and then go? Has anything substantially changed?
I think so, yes. I think COVID-19 was a disruptive event, Bruce, and I don't think there will be any return to the status quo before COVID-19. The world that emerges from COVID-19 may be in a better space to tackle problems like climate change, which has been neglected for something like 3 decades. You may say, well, you're just being overly optimistic, and maybe I am, but I think there's a pragmatic element to this assessment, and it's this. In the last 3 decades, since the end of the Cold War, we've seen attempts by great powers to unilaterally fix problems. The track record is singularly unimpressive. There's been no unilateral solutions to problems of the global economy, no unilateral solutions to problems of international security, and no unilateral solutions to problems of climate change. So, kicking and screaming, I think COVID-19 may be a catalyst for the world in 2021, 22, to move towards a more cooperative approach, not just because it's the right thing to do morally, but out of self-interest. Countries are moving into a new era in the 21st century where they simply cannot solve these problems on their own, and they need each other. So the fates of sovereign states have become increasingly interlinked, and I think that's one of the key lessons of COVID-19.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching during 2020. Catch us next year on Global Insight. Te pono me te araha.
And you can watch the full interview with Professor Patman online at odt.co.nz. After the break on The South Today, we check out the month that was July and we take a look at tomorrow's weather for you, so see you after the break.
Welcome to Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have no shortage of stock. Check these out. We've got the Dunedin print t-shirts. Check out our zillions of short sleeve shirts. These are crackers. They iron themselves in the wash. Iron cheater they're called. And there's some really cool polo shirts. Look at the bright colours. And of course there's no shortage of shorts. This is always one of our brightest corners. Our long sleeve fashion shirts. Jeans, casual trousers, dress trousers, you name it, we have you covered.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So if you're shopping for your family or yourself, come and see Alex Campbell Menswear stores. We're full of stock.
Do PVC windows and doors. PVC is 9% more efficient than standard aluminium and 60% more efficient than thermally broken aluminium. It's multi-chambered, you don't get any condensation through the frame, and if you put decent glass in, you get a big difference to aluminium.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here till January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Lord, 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 hear it more. Don't you hear Jerusalem, oh? Don't you hear Jerusalem, oh? Bring the man here.
used to be back. My armor already cut to the bone.
Don't you dare take that country out of me.
Thanks for staying with us. In the lead up to Christmas, we're taking a look back at the news highlights over the last 12 months. 1,000 workers learned in July that their jobs were on the line after Rio Tinto said the aluminium smelter in Southland is no longer viable. And a high-flying young MP lost his job going on to reinvent himself as a real estate agent.
It was not a good month for embattled Clutha Southland MP Hamish Walker, who had been elected in a landslide in 2017. The 35-year-old MP resigned after admitting to leaking COVID-19 patient details. Walker returned to the public eye as a real estate agent in Queenstown, as well as campaigning for a seat on the local Chamber of Commerce. After a lot of paperwork and bureaucracy, an expert rope splicer travelled through the country's closed borders to arrive at the remarkable ski field. His task was to splice together the two ends of the main haul cable of the Sugar Bowl chairlift.
We've got Hannes here. He's come away from Switzerland, and the whole process has taken about 8 weeks to get him here, and we're pretty glad to have him.
It had been on the cards for a long time, but it was still a huge shock when Rio Tinto announced the closure of the Tiwai Point aluminium smelter, with the loss of 1,000 jobs. The smelter's general manager said he was extremely disappointed, and his first concern was the health and welfare of the staff working there.
So what that means is my real focus for today and over the next period is on the people of Tiwai, their safety and their well-being.
The death of a student, Sophia Cristani, at a party in a Dunedin flat last year was a loss that her parents say can never be forgotten. 9 months after her death, the launch of a charter in her memory to improve student safety was a way of channeling the family's grief.
We've never been angry. Sophia made her decisions and we really supported, and she was turning into a great young woman. So we're not angry, but we do want to see change. We want to do whatever we can to support change.
And 14-year-old Thomas Kyle of Timaru gained a certificate to drive a traction engine on the road. His father and mother also have their STEAM tickets, and he says his 12-year-old sister is also keen to get hers. In Timaru, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The importance of taking a moment to stop and breathe will be in the forefront of Invercargill visitors' minds. A new festival celebrating Pacific culture will be held for the first time next year in Dunedin. And Lee Stream school pupils teamed up in the annual water fight on the last day of school against the school's 3 teachers yesterday, and no mercy was shown by either side. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view, a high-level high-vis meeting on Dunedin Stewart Street this afternoon. Looking at the situation, a front brings a northwesterly airflow to the region tomorrow, with cloud thickening and rain developing in most areas tomorrow night. Looking at the northwest, where the nice weather should stick around until tomorrow. 20 degrees with the odd cloud for Westport and Greymouth. And especially on the eastern side, it's sunny for both Nelson and Blenheim on 22 and 26 degrees. Sunny right down the coast too, 22 degrees in Kaikoura, 21 for Christchurch, and Ashburton is sitting on a very nice 28 degrees. To the southern towns, light winds and fine conditions with 19 degrees in the Catlins and Balclutha, while Lumsden and Gore are both due for 18. To the Central Lakes, light winds and fine conditions here as well with 22 degrees in Queenstown. Wanaka's a decent 24, while Tiana is due for 17 and rain. To the northern towns, moderate northerlies. High cloud on the coast with 27 degrees in Timaru and 26 degrees in Oamaru. Inland, light winds, fine conditions and 26 degrees for both Twizel and 25 in Almarama. In Dunedin, low cloud and northeasterly winds tonight, looking at a low of 9. It's cloudy tomorrow with moderate northeasterlies, breezy in the afternoon, some showers developing tomorrow night, looking at a high of 19 and a low of 14. And it's overcast on Saturday with periods of rain, heaviest during the afternoon. It's still going to be mild and humid with moderate northerly winds, a high of 18 and a low of 11. And in Invercargill, slightly colder tonight with an overnight low of 9. Mild tomorrow with high cloud increasing as northwesterly winds freshen. Rain develops during the evening, looking at a high of 19 and a low of 12. And it's cloudy on Saturday with periods of rain and fresh northwesterly winds changing to colder southwesterlies, a high of 17 and a low of 11. And that's all for our news this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air. Merry Christmas.
Kia ora tātou. Hello book lovers. I'm Bronwyn from the University Bookshop. We have some interesting and enthralling new books in the shop for Christmas gifting and holiday reading. From Hawaiki to Aotearoa, the ancient navigators brought their myths while looking to the stars, bright with gods, ancestors and stories, to guide the way. Tracing the history of the Maori people through their creation myths and navigating the stars, master storyteller Witi Hamara presents a spellbinding and provocative retelling of traditional Maori myths for the 21st century. From the other side of the world, in Troy, Stephen Fry retells the ancient Greek epic of a terrible war with casualties on all sides as well as strained relations between allies, whose consequences become tragedies. Filled with heroism and hatred, love and loss, revenge and regret, desire and despair, these human passions, so long ago, so far away, still speak to us here, today. Come into the bookshop and discover more interesting books. We can help with recommendations and free gift wrapping, and you can send a parcel at our postal services counter.